believe that our dreams are a lot like music, and there is one simple move that we need to know in order to dance to it. But unfortunately, dancing for many of us is a terrifying experience. We've all been in those moments when we've been out on the dance floor, and we don't know what to do, and we get stuck. Or even worse yet, we don't want to even step out on that dance floor because we don't know what we're going to do when we get there. You know, I was reminded of this when my son had his middle school dance last fall. He's a good-looking guy. And he was excited, ready to go. We got him a blazer. I took him, picked him up afterwards. It's like, hey, how'd it go? And he's like, went awesome. Hey, did you dance? No. Anybody? Nobody danced except one person. That's like 1 out of 100. It's like 1%. But you know what? That's exactly the way it was when I was in middle school. 100 people looking awesome, ready to go, have a good time. We got there in that gym, and there it was, the dance floor. It was like a boxing ring, and we all stood around the perimeter, and nobody dared go in. The only thing you're going to find there is abject humiliation, or even worse, death. And so, fast forward a couple of years, I go to my high school prom, and I danced, had a good time, and then my prom date left me in the middle of the prom. Yeah, thank you. I heard it. You know, what did I dance wrong? What did I do? Well, the next day she had the nerve to call me up and say, hey, Michael, I had a really great time. Thank you for taking me. Really had a good time? That's good for you. Me? Not so much. You know, and so I think we all have these experiences where we don't go out there and get something that we want because we're too afraid to go get it. Or we go there, we try it out, and it doesn't work out the way we want, and so we don't go again. So then we have to ask ourselves, do we step out there? Do we face that fear to go out and get what we really want? Yes, we do. We've got to. It's within us to go get there. So me, I'm going to waltz out there and be awesome. I'm going to boogie down to my dreams. You just give me the playbook, give me the step-by-step. Coach, put me in. I'm ready to play. The unfortunate thing is nobody's ever danced to our dreams before. Nobody's me. Nobody can tell me and give me the waltz playbook on how to get there. We have to innovate and learn these things for ourselves. And you know, corporations have the same sort of challenge of having to get to a future that they're aspiring to. Instead, they don't call it a dream, they call it a vision. In vision, there's lots of things that need to happen to make that a reality. Now, I'm fortunate enough to work in an organization that's invested in innovation. And in that department, we have some deep expertise in some best-of-breed innovation models, where it's design thinking, human-centered design, jobs to be done, disruptive innovation. We've got it all. But just having that in itself doesn't mean that we're going to have innovation success. To have innovation success, we have to do the fundamentals right. We have to get those small steps correct. And that's why I love the two-step. It is a simple step that anybody can learn. And you know what? It's actually going to work for about every song out there. And if you know it, you know what I'm talking about. So let me go ahead and just talk about how it actually works. So this is the two-step, okay? So it actually consists of 4 parts. So feet together, step, close, step, close, step, close, step, close. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can use this for about any song out there. None of this stuff. No. Just do the two-step. And again, I mean, it's something that will work no matter where you go. And it allows us to get out there. So let's look at how this works in innovation. So in innovation, step number 1, here we go. All right? This is a mindset. It's a mental commitment. It is thinking about my dream, me being there. Okay? It's not about how am I going to get from A to B. It's about being there, not here. In this step, we have to watch out for our expert minds. Our expert minds brings all the fears, all the failures, and all the mistakes that we've had. They are rooted in the past, and they do not care about the future, things that are untried or unproven. Okay? They're going to say things like, that's not the way we do it. I ain't done that before. You're crazy. Okay? I need more time, more money. What we need to be able to have is a beginner mind. A beginner mind says, I wonder. Okay? It's a childlike mind. A mind that's more interested in experimenting than it is about mistakes. Okay, once we have our mind right, we're able to step in, physical step. Number 2, step out on that dance floor. Feet first, all in, okay? Now, if we find ourselves dipping the toe in the water, we need to ask ourselves, did we do step 1? because that expert mind is cunning, and it's going to creep back and say, oh, wait a minute, I didn't realize that that's what it's going to be all about. No, no way. That stuff is impossible. I don't even know where to begin, okay? Not possible. Well, I'll tell you something that's not possible. How about running a marathon north of the Arctic Circle in nothing but your shorts? This guy did it. His name is Wim Hof, better known as the Iceman, okay? And he's really challenged what we think about and know about our human bodies. He's actually found a way to end up going into very cold environments and withstand that. He packed himself in ice and stayed in there for guess how long? Anybody got a guess how long he stayed in ice? 6 days, 3 days. Man, you guys are, no, 2 hours. 2 hours. You're really stretching. This is, okay. But, he's been able to do a lot of amazing things. And so, scientists said this guy's just a freak of nature. Great for Wim. Nobody else can do it. But Wim Hof says anybody can do this. And a lot of people have. And what he says is what you need to be able to do is conquer your mind, get to your mind, connect with your environment, and that's going to allow you to go into any stressful situation. Kind of like a middle school dance floor or a TEDx stage. You can do it. Now we're ready to go into step number 3. Shuffling around till you get it. Remember, we've not done this before, okay? So we're not going to get it right, but it's not about being right or wrong, okay? This is about learning and figuring it out, okay? I'll give you a little example of learning. I love building and fixing and renovating old houses. And one day I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to renovate that bathroom. So I said, here I go, hammer flying, and I was in there. That's what it looks like. And shuffling around is messy, okay? And you might look at this and think that this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I don't claim to be an expert at anything, okay? But I love learning. And I learned a lot with this, okay? I figured out I did a lot of things backwards. I ended up making a lot of redos. But you know what? I persevered, I went through, and I did it. And at the end, it was beautiful, and I loved it. And then I learned how to do drywalling because I ended up nailing through one of the pipes, and it flooded the downstairs. The ceiling had collapsed in. And that's the great thing about shuffling around. You're going to learn whether you like it or not if you stay in there and you keep at it. And so corporations, again, kind of have this challenge. But let me go on and step into number 4. Invite others in. If we are going to be truly out there on the fringes, then we're going to be in and over our head, and we're going to need help. So invite people in. In fact, you might have thought about an invention or something that you've done really, really well. Chances are you've invited somebody else in that made that idea even better or helps you bring it to fruition. In fact, I think our ideas are bigger than us. I think they're already there. I think that we're just the first people that are able to see that. And we're the ones that are brave enough to step out on that dance floor to go get it. And our brains are really wired to be in community and concert with each other. As we see that in dance, we see that with big ideas. So in closing, I hope we all see that innovation in dancing is much simpler than we thought. Okay? It just takes following a simple 2-step method. Step 1, here we go. Childlike mind. Step number 2, jump in, feet first. Step number 3, shuffling around till you get it. It doesn't matter doing right or wrong. If you fall, get up, keep going and learning. And step 4, invite others in. Dancing is much better that way. So now to close, we're going to do the 2-step. All right? So can I get a beat? Here we go. Let's clap along. Help me out. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's the night. Let's live it up. I got my money. Let's spin it up. Let's go and smash it. Like, oh my God. Jump off that sofa and kick it on. Thank you for dancing very much.